So that was a win for BoxeR there. And we're going to move on to the next map, of course, which is going to be Neo Aztec. And hopefully that didn't refresh. No, it didn't. Good. Okay, so this is great. Yeah, of course, GoRush opening relatively standard, BoxeR opening standard as well. Did try and be a little bit cheeky, going into a bit of a bunker rush at the start, as we can see the Marines moving up here. And although it didn't really do too much damage, it did force GoRush into a bit of an awkward position. He did build this sunken, and actually forced him to pull most of his drones off the line, which didn't actually manage to do anything. So this did push back the Spire, although I pushed back the Mulus at least. The layer was going down, it wasn't finished, and this was just incredibly annoying for GoRush to actually deal with. So BoxeR did a really good job. He actually retreated at one point, and GoRush didn't really notice for a while. So fearing pressure, found himself in a little bit of an awkward position. He did go for a little bit of a counter-attack, but BoxeR put up a solid defense, and we'll just quickly zoom through to the bit where BoxeR pushed, because that was a relatively decent push. And of course you saw the Mulus not really doing any damage. BoxeR did a really good job dealing with those. And as you can see here, this huge push, while it didn't do too much, the follow-up push did actually win BoxeR the game. He actually lost most of his units here, but it's his macro coming off the back of this. You can see down the bottom half of the map, there's a lot of units already building up, and that taking out the third of GoRush actually won him the game. And here we go, this move out here won GoRush the game, and won BoxeR the game, and was very useful. Sorry, here we go, this move out. That was a really well played game by BoxeR. Not to take anything away from GoRush, he played well as well, but he did find himself in a bit of an awkward position against the powerhouse that is BoxeR, so nothing to be ashamed about there by GoRush. GoRush obviously proving so far that he has been a bit of a powerhouse himself. Did get a little bit blindsided in that first game of the finals, and we're going to move in to the next game after this. So yeah, you are back with the Bacchus Offgamenet Starleague. This is the grand finals. This is the second set of the best of 5, and that should have shot off there, but no, I don't want to play it again. But yeah, the players are now ready to move into the second game. These are replays. This is a Team Liquid community tournament. I hope you enjoyed the first game, and let's get on with the second game. So as you can see, we're now in the second game. It looks like they switched over to fish. I know BoxeR has had some trouble with the MCA launcher, so I don't know if he fixed his problems with W launcher for this game, but it looks like GoRush did actually do the spiel of "I'm Korean" that doesn't appear on my machine. So both of them are on fish now. This is Neo Aztec, and this is our second game. Both of the players, of course, doing the player introductions very quickly. In the 12 o'clock position, this is of course a 3-player map, 12 around 4 and 8 o'clock. In 12 o'clock we do have SK Telecom T1's GoRush, or the player playing under the alias of GoRush, in case you don't understand what you're watching. And over here in the left, At the 8 o'clock position, we do have SK Telecom T1's BoxeR, the Emperor, who is 1-0 up. He did take the first set just then. And if you're just tuning in, the VOD for the first set will be going up after, or this evening, later on. So if you do want to check out that first game, it was a fairly decent game. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. But BoxeR doing the same build as last time, really. Actually opting to build his barracks on 10, which is ever so slightly earlier, so we could actually see another bunker rush coming from him here. GoRush not actually opting to build his pool yet, is going to look like he's going to go for hatch first again. Is sending his overlord in the correct way, so that's going to be useful for him. And BoxeR actually going to scout on 12, so BoxeR, being relatively careful, does see the angle of the overlord coming in, so probably knows exactly which way to scout. Could actually see a very early expansion here from BoxeR, not opting to add another barracks on again, so probably going to see a 1 racks FE from BoxeR against a relatively standard opening again from GoRush. I don't know how the lag was going in between the games, if everything was fine, but hopefully it wasn't too much of a problem. And just quickly checking the forums, it looks like out of the 10 people who voted, out of the 400 or so people who looked at the thread, 6 people wanted GoRush to win, and only 4 BoxeR, so hopefully they're not feeling too disappointed in the first set, and hopefully their fan spirit will encourage and inspire GoRush to move forward in the set, obviously bring it back to a 1-1. But obviously this is going to be the game that's going to decide that. It looks like GoRush once again going for a 3 hatchery play. His pool's quite late, but relatively standard, I guess, against what he's facing. BoxeR not actually opting to add on. BoxeR not opting to add on his command center yet. A very interesting play. Is going to go with 1 barracks and do a little bit of pressure here with 3 marines. He's actually going up to 3 supply depots before he adds on his command center, so this is going to be a very late 1 racks FE from BoxeR, and this little bit of extra pressure could in fact be a bunker rush. To defend against this though, this time GoRush is actually going to get this sunken incredibly early, so either he was suspecting some kind of factory opening due to the fact that command center was so late, so he could be expecting vultures, which of course the sunken is incredibly useful. And there we go, there's the bunker again. So BoxeR opening with a bunker rush 2 games in a row, but this bunker isn't going to really be able to do anything. A very good early move out by GoRush's Zerglings is actually going to move back the marines, and they're going to turn and fight. There's actually a very nice bit of control. Is going to show BoxeR showing off amazing control. They're actually taking out 4 lings with 4 marines, and although his bunker was cancelled by this sunken colony, he just showed off a nice bit of micro there to keep all of his marines alive. And of course when he gets his medics up, that's going to be a huge advantage moving forward, supply wise and army wise actually. So nice moves there by BoxeR, not taking any damage, severely dampening GoRush's chances to do some form of a counter attack. He's going to move into a lair himself, so he's going to tech up, probably go for Mulus again, and these 2 extra Zerglings are going to move out and take out that extra SCV, so there's no longer anything really scouting GoRush's base for BoxeR, so GoRush is going to be free now to do what he wants. And BoxeR meanwhile is going to have the same liberty. He's going to add on his academy. It's actually a little bit earlier this game, and he's opting to get more gas a little bit quicker as well, so not opting to do the exact same build as last time, as bunker rush was slightly earlier and its expansion was slightly later than last time, but sadly for him it didn't really work out in terms of damage, and GoRush is going to find himself in a little bit of a better position moving forward, actually opting to add a Hydralist end. So forget what I said about Mewers. This time GoRush is actually going to go in for Lurkers, or even just a Hydra Bust. Now there we go, we see the Lurker Den upgrade going, and BoxeR could find himself in a lot of trouble. This is a very good map for Lurkers. Once again, you do have this downward ramp, and this is quite a wide area to try and cover as Terran. He is actually a little bit further back to try and defend against a large amount of Lings, but even Lurker drops in this map are very powerful. There's a large area around the map where you can get Lurkers in, and it'll be interesting to see if we do see Overlord drop going, and I think that might be drop, or it might be speed. Once again, I need to learn the Zerg symbols. and we do see the first Hydralisk coming out. So this is going to signify, I do believe BoxeR actually managed to scan that, so that's going to be very lucky for him, although BoxeR is going to move across the map now with a relatively nice sunken bus style push, which is going to be able to do a lot of damage here. GoRush actually forced to add on a lot of sunkens is going to find himself unable to really run across the map with his lurkers when they finish straight away. BoxeR's going to use this mobility of his army to really put on some pressure, and these lings are going to move down to try and intercept, but they're just going to all get killed. There's 2 firebats here as well, so those lings, the ones that survived, are going to have to tail their way back home. Meanwhile, BoxeR just macroing up back at home. Does have this little force outside of GoRush's main that does threaten a sort of backstab, but with the sheer amount of lurkers here, they're going to be forced back soon enough. And with lings and this overlord, and also the overlords around here, GoRush with a very good overlord spread actually is going to be able to spot for any incoming drops, so he's not going to be really taken by surprise. But he will in fact find himself trying to engage into this army, which is spread out really well. So BoxeR doing a really good job of pre-spreading his bio there. A really nice spine, actually takes out 3 marines. I'm not entirely sure how, considering it was right at the end of their range. But GoRush is slowly going to move up with his lurkers, and BoxeR is slowly going to move back. Actually moving up to try and engage. It will take out 1 lurker and get away only losing 2 marines, but these lings will actually... Wow, okay. Firebats are really strong. The lings don't actually do as much damage as I thought they were going to do, and this little force is going to move back again, and BoxeR is just going to move in from the side with some more units, although getting up this ramp is going to be very difficult, so GoRush is going to do what he can. He's going to move down the ramp. One of his lurkers goes down really easily, so that was a bit of a mistake from him, and he finds himself unable to really take a 3rd base right now. He's actually opting to really go ahead with these lurkers, adding on 3 more back at home again. He's trying to do what he can to try and break up this bioforce. There is a little bit which is now going to reconnect with this other force here, and he's going to stim into the lurkers before they can burrow, but he doesn't actually manage to take one out, so that's incredibly lucky for GoRush. And BoxeR is just going to continue to keep his map presence up, deny any form of expansion, and it looks like this is when the drop is going to come in. GoRush is going to start moving his units back here, and these overlords are moving back from this corner, so GoRush could be actually caught out here. BoxeR could be caught out. BoxeR actually scanning around, misses the overlords coming across, looking for that 3rd base of GoRush that isn't up yet. So BoxeR will know there's probably some kind of attack coming, especially knowing these early lurkers, and especially now scouting that there's no 3rd base. He's gonna probably move back into his base and prepare, but GoRush is actually hiding this really well by being very active on the front of the map with his lurkers, although this could actually be a little bit of a pain for him because he's going to find his lurker force split in half, whereas BoxeR is just keeping his bio blob in, or exactly in what I just said, in a blob. So BoxeR doing a very good job out on the map, may actually be able to bust through this, and he will kill this poor drone trying to go. But here we go, we do see the drop moving around to the top of the map, and BoxeR in a very nice position actually. GoRush trying to loop around on this army with his lings, a very nice move, but he could find himself in a lot of trouble. These lurkers are going to have to pull back up the ramp. There is a huge bioforce coming up this ramp, and if they get some good hits, this is going to be devastating for BoxeR, but BoxeR does pull away quick enough, and GoRush actually moving around looking for a 3rd base himself, and here we do see the drop coming in, and this could be incredibly dangerous. There's no units here to defend by BoxeR, but GoRush is also in a situation where he doesn't have too much to defend. Not actually opting to drop straight away, drops a single lurker up here to try and stop mining. Actually, will he oh, he loses an overlord with a lurker in, so that's a really big loss for him. He is forcing the mining or the SCVs away from mining, and he's outside of the barracks, so this is going to be incredibly hard for BoxeR to really try and clean up. It does look like he tried to get up this ramp again, and the lurkers did stop him, so seeing that, BoxeR's going to move down. GoRush not doing a perfect job of actually targeting. Could actually find himself in an awkward position here where he's not actually being able to deal with it. BoxeR does take out the lurker up here before he can do too much damage. And these overlords are going to run away, probably pick up the units down here, which is where he's going to intercept. But GoRush is now lost a few lurkers actually moving down, trying to do some extra damage. Those fire bats are doing a lot of damage to these poor innocent lings down here, trying to get to their overlord buddies. But there's been a huge amount of damage on my GoRush at BoxeR's main. The command center has been forced to lift, and if this, oh, he saves the starport before it burns, and now this is going to allow this vessel to come out. If this vessel didn't come out, he'd be in a lot more trouble, as he would only have, well, he'd have no scans right now, so he wouldn't be able to clean this up. But now with a vessel, he's going to be able to move down with a tank and some marines and deal with this. GoRush actually opting to move back, try and do some extra damage before they get ousted out. It looks like he's not actually opted to reload his drop, so he's going to try and take a third base now. He does have his lurkers defending it. BoxeR is of course very far behind now economically. He doesn't have his main base mining again yet, and he's taken a lot of damage to these buildings. Luckily for him, he gets the clutch repair before it does go down, and GoRush, while doing a lot of damage from that drop, is finding himself somewhat even with BoxeR due to how quickly BoxeR did actually manage to mount a little bit of an offense, and it looks like GoRush is actually going to move up now. Of course, when you go for a drop like that, it is a very big commitment. You do need to do a lot of damage. Has GoRush really done enough damage to BoxeR? BoxeR hasn't sent his unit. Oh, this could be huge. Two lurkers have actually been dropped on this cliff, and that's actually quite good for BoxeR in a way, because it has reminded him that he does need to mine from his main, so he's moved his excess lurkers back down there, and actually opting to put a bunker there is a very, very clever strategic choice here. His refinery is under fire, but a tank will be able to clear that up. It looks like he'll just move that up in a second, and he's not going to really do much damage. He did actually manage to take out quite a lot of SUVs there, so very good move by GoRush there. Very, very tactical, using the map layout to his advantage here, more so than BoxeR actually. And it looks like he's just going to have his lurkers sitting in the map, defending this short little ramp, and defending his ramp up here. So GoRush actually opting not to go for an extra main, is going to try now and move across and do what he can to cut off BoxeR's army before it can really do anything. He's going to move up. There isn't too much bio here, so GoRush could actually clean this up and find himself in a really, really strong position. But BoxeR pulling back in time will actually... he'll still lose most of his units, but he should be able to get some reinforcements there. And as I say that, his last few units do go down. The last marine, will he survive? The links actually don't target the marine, so the marine survives with like 1 health. So very, very lucky marine. He's going to go back home to his family and be a family man after this war's over. Probably get veterans pay or whatever the poor Terrans get when they get war scarred. But medics will heal him up. And GoRush is finding himself in a pretty weird position here. He's actually going to sit at the bottom of this ramp, but there is vessels here, so these 3 lurkers are doomed. They will all die to irradiate, so not the perfect play there by GoRush, but he is somewhat trying to trap BoxeR's army in, and this is going to be very good for him. But of course, there we have those 3 lurkers going down, and now BoxeR's army will just filter out the bottom of the map, and GoRush finds all his units at the top, so he's going to try and take this base up here. He's moving some lings back, but he really needs to get some lurkers over there. And he needs to do something with his lurkers. He's just moving them around, not really understanding exactly where BoxeR's army is going to find himself in, once again, I keep saying this bit in an awkward position this time, because BoxeR's army is all down the south. He has the north, and BoxeR isn't really trying to move up there, so that doesn't really help him very much. And there's nothing to defend this base down here, so this is going to be incredibly bad for him if BoxeR can take it out. BoxeR is of course stuck on 2 base, 2 GoRush's 3. GoRush did actually opt to obviously take this 3rd gas, but it's not really mining minerals. He didn't really need to mine the minerals yet, he needs the gas. And we do see an engagement here. It looks like an overlord must have gone down there, I think. But once again, GoRush without any Scourge, finding it really difficult to fend off these irradiates, and slowly but surely his lurker force is getting picked off. Does he even have a Spire? Yes, he does. We will probably see some Scourge come out from him soon, but he's not really done any damage. And here we go. Here's this move that BoxeR can make here, which will bring himself back even in this game and make it incredibly awkward for GoRush to take an extra base. And that is, he's going to take out this 4th base, and although even then I don't think his army can really be trapped down here by GoRush. GoRush is going to move up with his lurkers, but these vessels all have enough for irradiate, and they're going to get 3 more lurkers for completely for free. And although BoxeR's army is going to be trapped, it won't be trapped forever, as the lurkers that are there are very low on health. We do see a nice swarm go down, but it's not really going to help him. He's going to move the lings actually through the swarm. Does get another swarm very late, and we do see the Scourge coming. Can BoxeR save his vessels? He does split his marines up very nicely, but 2 of the vessels go down. So a very nice move by GoRush there, actually picking off 2 vessels for 4 Scourge, I do believe. So a good move there to try and bring himself somewhat even supply-wise. He does actually move his lurkers up under swarm, so he will take out this bioforce. But BoxeR back at home has another big bioforce leaving his base, and it has Zerg Death in its eyes, and it's going to move straight across the map here. And GoRush, with his army sort of filtered around everywhere, could actually find himself in trouble here. So GoRush opting to go for a counter-attack here with his lings. I'm not sure if he knows about this base, but he will actually be able to force a cancel on it if he moves up quick enough before the reinforcements get down there. But more pressingly, he has to deal with this, so BoxeR being incredibly active on the map once again, showing he knows how to control his bio really well, not losing too much of it to lurkers at any real point in the game, and showing a really nice dominance over GoRush here, which is somewhat surprising considering how powerful they've both been in the tournament so far. But of course BoxeR is still only on 2 base, so, and it does look like he's going to be able to take out the 3rd base here. There's not enough defense. A swarm does go down, but it's very late. He does have a lot of 2 defilers. Some huge swarms go down, and most of the units here should die. But he does still have these marines up here, and there's nothing you can really do to attack them. There's a lot of fire bats, so these swarms aren't as powerful as they could be. And it looks like this 3rd base is going to go on. GoRush is going to pull his drones away, but he's going to find himself very far behind now if he loses this base. But he can't really move up and deal with it because of the fire bats. Fire bats are a great choice against Zerg, and just showing how powerful they are. A 10-kill fire bat showing and dancing actually. So he's quite proud of himself there with his 10 kills. Manages to keep him alive as well with 6 health. He's going to take out this gas, and GoRush is in a very bad position now. He will manage to take this area back, but he's not really going to be able to do anything to take another base now. He finds himself trapped in his corner. He tries to take 2 expansions here to try and get himself back in, but BoxeR is slowly adding on more units, and they did PP there, so good job. He got a phone call, so we're back in the game again. That would have been a pause, I guess. But of course, with replays, you don't see the pause, you just see the text all appear at once. So BoxeR's going to take this 3rd base. Then GoRush is going to find himself behind once again in this series. Actually, supply block now, so BoxeR's done a very good job actually taking out overlords. And this drop could be incredibly annoying to deal with. There is 7 marines here, and only 1 medic, but that's enough to deal with a very good number of lings if he controls well enough. There is a large number of lings here, but he is going to take out these evolution chambers, and that's a very costly loss, as he is moving into Ultras. They have got 4 carapace now, and he wasn't actually upgrading attack there at the other evolution chamber, luckily for him. Must have been on the other one, so he does manage to get, here we go, BoxeR has seen some drones trying to transfer down here. There is some swarm and 3 lurkers that they are going to be able to defend against. Most bioforces, BoxeR actually saying XD, I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but having a bit of fun with this teammate. No chat ban in effect, so GoRush or BoxeR won't get disqualified. And BoxeR's just going to move off his force. He does have a lot of vessels now that are banking energy, so he's probably going to be able to move in here and irradiate everything he wants to. A huge plague does go down, which is going to make it a lot easier for him to deal with these. But he just doesn't have enough units to really defend this base now. It's going to be really hard to see these lurkers, but there we go. We do see 1 irradiate go down. Another irradiate did go down before. So that's all the defense there for BoxeR, or for GoRush. GoRush does actually have 1 more lurker, but that's not really going to be enough to defend it. And where he doesn't have a Nidus, he can't actually move down to defend this base either. And another drop goes down at the top of the map. actually taking out most of the drones, I think. No, there they are. They did transfer away, so good for him. But he's just going to go up on this cliff, and there's nothing that the GoRush really has that can actually outrange these Marines. So that's going to be incredibly annoying. He's going to lose his Hydralisk Den, which he badly needs for more lurkers. And if BoxeR targets this, he's actually giving oh, there we go, he actually cancels these 3 drones, so GoRush knows this base is going down. He is building a nice canal, so he can probably run his drones away, but I think BoxeR, with this move on this base, is actually going to take the game, as there's nothing GoRush has to really answer this. And these Marines are just going to sit up here for an infinite period of time until GoRush can afford some Mulisks and just constantly take out this gas. And we do see the Marines moving down. They do take out the Nidus. The drones did not manage to get away. All these drones are going to be barbecued in this case, as there is a fire bat. Only gets 2 of them, and he will lose his 4th base. He's going to move in now with Lings from behind. Move Lings over to the left side does actually force this base to lift, but that isn't so much of an importance. BoxeR actually moving 4 SCVs down with his army here, possibly going to take both these bases himself to somewhat humiliate his teammate, but I do believe he has a little bit more respect for his teammate than that. And we do see these SCVs. It does look like he's going to take these bases, so BoxeR showing insane amounts of confidence. Somehow the lurkers did actually manage to start morphing there before the Hydralisk Den went down, unless he managed to buy it. Oh no, he built another one. So GoRush, still with the ability to build lurkers, but with no money to do so, is only on 81 supply against the 132 of BoxeR. His army is incredibly weak right now. He does have some Ultralisks, but it's not really enough. A drop is moving around, doing what it can. It's actually going to land here and probably cancel this Carapace upgrade, which is going to be incredibly annoying, and it can even take out this Hydralisk Den. All of GoRush's units find themselves trapped outside of his main. He does have a few Ultras here, which are actually going to save this Evolution Chamber, so a very, very big defensive maneuver there. And BoxeR's SCVs actually mined some minerals and came the whole way back again. He's gonna siege his tanks to try and defend this area while he builds command centers here and down here. So BoxeR showing confidence. GoRush is going to move up with his small army. The Zerglings find themselves trapped in the Ultralisks, which are in fact irradiated. So all of the Zerglings go down before the Ultralisks can even, or before they can even get to the army of BoxeR, and he throws away his entire army, sadly, on BoxeR's units. And he finds himself in an unwinnable position, being 2 bases, 2-4, which were almost mined out, and BoxeR, with going up to 6 bases, showing once again a very, very dominant performance in the game, and very, very well played game there by BoxeR. We'll take the set up to 2-0, and it will bring us up to our 3rd game, which will be on Pathfinder.